So, welcome to The Download, hosted by Webby. I'm here with Jaron Cohen today. Hi Jaron, how are you?
Hi.
Can you tell us who you are and what you do?
Yeah, sure. So I look after the commercial Windows business. That includes ensuring that our thousands of partners are delivering profitable services on Windows. Our millions of customers are as productive in the way that they deploy Windows and secure. And the millions of end users are loving Windows 10.
So, Windows as a service. What's the opportunity for partners?
So Windows has traditionally been a once every 3-year project for many of our partners. Once every 3 years, they'd rock up to a customer, they'd provide a statement of work and deliver a large project to move them from one version to the next version of Windows. Windows as a service is about delivering Windows in small incremental changes every 6 months. The opportunity for partners is to come back to those customers on a 6-monthly basis and talk to them about the new features we delivered in Windows, the new features we delivered in Office, and understand how that delivers greater value for our end customers.
Great. And for customers, what's their advantage?
For customers, it's really about how do we deliver a continuous stream of innovation in the first piece, and the second piece is how do we keep our customers secure. So the reality is when we look at the security landscape, the security threats are changing daily. Windows as a service allows us to continuously improve the security across our entire stack and deliver the security that meets the needs of customers today as opposed to a version of Windows we might have built 3 years ago.
And what do you see as the future of the modern desktop?
For me, the future of the modern desktop is about how we empower users to be as creative as possible, allow them to use the technology that they want to use at the time that they need that technology, and also how do we foster greater teamwork and collaboration between organizations and within organizations. How do we enable a user to find the information they need at the right time and be able to take action when they need to take action?
So what do you see as the trends in this space?
So the key trends for me are how do we better protect information as users are using technology both inside the business but also outside the business? How do we empower users to use the device they want, the technology they want? And how do we take out friction from it? How do we take out technology friction, should I rather say, and empower users to work the way that they want to work?
Great. And what's driving these changes?
So I think the key thing that's driving these changes is what users have come to expect. When I leave in the morning, I potentially grab a laptop that I kind of need for work. I grab a tablet that I can actually get work done, and I grab a phone that I love. What's driving these changes is how do we make all those pieces loved bits of technology? How do we make sure that that work laptop is just as loved as a phone that you spend all day on chatting on Facebook?
And Microsoft's now in enterprise mobility. How are they driving enterprise mobility in this new world?
So when we think about enterprise mobility, we think about it very much as part of what we call the modern workplace. And the modern workplace for us is how do we foster creativity? How do we enable teamwork? How do we deliver intelligent security? And enterprise mobility for us is a combination of those three pieces. How do we enable creativity by enabling users to work where they want? How do we foster teamwork by enabling them to connect with people? And how do we ensure that that entire environment is secure?
So what's your new favourite feature in Windows 10?
My favourite feature is placeholder file placeholders, which was the most requested feature that we got when we launched Windows 10 as we removed it from Windows 8. And now we're actually delivering that back into the Windows 10 platform. That allows me to get the files that I need when I want them on the device that I want, wherever I happen to be.
So blockers for partners, how do they get over this new rapid adoption model? How do they articulate this to customers and the business value? What would you suggest?
So I think partners are fairly lucky. They've had the history of Office 365, which has been an as-a-service product. I think transitioning those skills that they've learned around how do they keep customers up to date around Office 365, using those same skills around Windows is absolutely critical. The other sort of advice I give to partners is how do they think about what's their niche around a managed service. Windows as a service does not mean that every partner needs to be a managed service or a desktop as a service provider. I'm starting to see great growth in partners that are delivering just those regular 6-monthly updates as a service, just the config manager as a service, just the security features of Windows 10 as a service. So I think the key message is partners, think about where you want to differentiate relative to other partners and understand how you turn that into a replicable service offering.
So at Inspire, we heard a lot more about the modern desktop. Can you explain that to us?
Yeah, so Satya spoke about our four key solution areas, one of which is the modern desktop. Within the modern desktop, we're really bringing together the three major product teams inside Microsoft. We're bringing together the Windows team, the Office and Office 365 team, and our Enterprise Mobility team to deliver a holistic solution for our customer. When we think about a holistic solution for our customer, we think about it across a couple of areas. How do we enable greater creativity? How do we enable users to create content, to be more creative, with pen, with touch, with dials, better creativity in terms of what they're actually doing? How do we enable greater teamwork and collaboration? That's been core to what Office has done, but how do we expand that out across that entire portfolio? How do we secure that entire platform? How do we deliver intelligent security out of our cloud for our users? And how do we simplify? And simplify is probably one of the most interesting ones. When we think about the desktop has traditionally been a very complex environment. What we're committed to is about simplifying across those three major products and delivering the right technology for the end users when they actually need it.
So you just mentioned the intelligent cloud and enterprise mobility. Can you explain how Microsoft's intelligent cloud helps?
Yeah, so I spoke about it in relation to security in the first piece. So when we think about security, we've realized that it's no longer reasonable to consider a customer's security posture once every 3 years when they do a desktop upgrade. The security landscape is changing daily. The threat landscape is changing hourly. What Microsoft delivers in the space is we combine security built into our products, built into Windows, built into Office, with a massive network of sensors. If you think about it, we have 500 million Windows 10 users. We have hundreds of millions of authentications against Azure. We have millions, hundreds of millions of Office 365 users. We take all of that insight and we deliver it to our customers through what we call the intelligent security graph. So allow them to respond far quicker to security compromises and security threats.
Great. So I'm a big fan of enterprise mobility and security. What's your favourite part of enterprise mobility and security?
So I think the favourite thing for me is how we're tying that together with Office and Windows. So today I can take a PC from HP, I can ship it out to an end user still in its brown box. They open that PC up, they can connect to their local Wi-Fi network, and I can provision an entire desktop to that user, including Windows, the security associated with Windows, Office 365, and all of the policies for an organisation without that end user ever coming into the IT department. The most exciting thing for me is about how we're actually delivering all these great bits of technology in a simpler way for our users and empowering users to work where they want.
So I've been reading about Autopilot recently. How does Autopilot fit into this?
So Autopilot is one of those sort of first services that I described before, which combines Windows, Office, and our management stack to deliver a PC or a device to a user when they need it and allow the IT department to pre-provision that device for yourself. So when the IT department buys the next 10 Surface Books, they can assign a specific serial number from one of those devices to yourself. And the moment you open that device up and connect it to the internet, it can automatically be provisioned for your IT environment, be it from a policy perspective, be it from an Office perspective, and you're up and running in a few minutes.
Well, that's excellent to hear about enterprise mobility and Autopilot. So what's the key message that you want our partners to take out of this?
So I think the key message from my side is continue to support customers on their journey to a modern desktop. Support them from the move from Windows 7 to Windows 10, Office 2013 to the Office 365 Pro Plus. But also then transition to understand how you're going to move your customers to the as-a-service model. How you're going to keep your customers current and up to date, and how do we enable your customers to take advantage of the continuous stream of innovation that Microsoft's going to deliver. Every 6 months, I'm going to deliver a new set of features for Windows, a new set of features for Office. Understand from a partner perspective, how do you get those features in front of the right user and make sure that they're delivering value for your end customers.
So what's your favourite device that you use today?
So at the moment I'm using an HP Spectre 360. It's a thin, light, silver, fancy looking laptop. I love it. It's, as I said, it's thin, light. It works, virtually the entire day on a single battery charge. It's convertible, so I can flip it around and watch Netflix when I get at home.
Nice. So what's your favourite Xbox game?
My favourite game would have to be Limbo. Giant spiders, playing with my 6-year-old, no better way to upset my lovely wife.
Fantastic.
Well, I've got a question for you.
Yeah, shoot.
You tell me Incentra is partner obsessed in everything you do. So what's the number one question that your partners are asking about in relation to the modern desktop?
I think it's getting their head around what is Windows as a service and what does that actually mean for their customers and how they can actually leverage this in their business model. So the challenge of the traditional 3-year IT cycle, I'm going to build a new version of Windows, 3 years later another version of Windows is going to come, as we have for Vista 7, 8, 8.1. And I think that it's now 6 monthly, and why do I have to do this so quickly? And what is the advantage to this?
Oh, interesting. So strongly suggest your partners have a look at the content we've made available online through the Windows for Business website, where we detail exactly what Windows as a service is. And I'd also suggest that your partners have a look at Windows Analytics. Windows Analytics is a great tool, a free tool we make available that allows partners to build an as-a-service practice on top of Windows. Allows them to understand what changes are coming in the next release, understand the apps that are going to work, and build a practice to ensure that their customers are ready for that change that we deliver in terms of the platform.
Oh, fantastic. I didn't know about the analytics. Can you tell me some more?
Sure. So Windows Analytics is a service that we make available. What we do is we take the over 500 million PCs that are running Windows 10, we take all the knowledge we have about the software they're running, the drivers and the hardware, and we make that available to our customers as a free service. Imagine what it would mean for your partners if they could rock up to their next customer and understand which apps would work on Windows 10, which devices will work on Windows 10, and allow them to prioritize the users that they need to move to Windows 10 first, and discover which users they can't move to Windows 10. Free, cloud-delivered service available to all of our partners and all of our customers.
Wonderful. So how do I access that?
Sure. So hop online, search for Windows Analytics. It's a cloud-delivered service part of the Azure suite.
Awesome. I think our partners will really love that, and I'm definitely going to check it out. Business books. Would you have a suggestion for a book that people should read?
Yeah, so it's amazing, right? So my world is so dynamic that I don't spend a huge amount of time interested in reading full-form books. I spend most of my time actually just listening to news and understanding what's changing in the dynamic IT environment. So rather than suggesting a business book, what I'd suggest is follow a number of key influencers in the Twitter space. So look at the likes of The Economist and understand what's actually happening inside your customer environment.
Great. Last thing, 3 key takeaways that our business leaders should take from this.
Yeah, so in my mind, sort of the key takeaways are: how do you enable your workforce? How do you deliver the technology that your workforce wants? How do you remove friction from your workforce in relation to technology? How do you make sure technology supports the way your workers want to work, as opposed to create friction inside their environment? And the third thing is understand how you can better secure the environment in a new world where the threats are not about kids delivering scripts and malicious bit of code, but you've actually got organisations that are fundamentally trying to make money out of security vulnerabilities inside your organisation.
Great. I really appreciate your time and your insights. It was really excellent to hear about enterprise mobility and security, Autopilot, and your favourite Xbox game. Look forward to seeing what Microsoft's going to do with the modern desktop. Great. Thank you for your time.
Pleasure. Lovely to chat.
I can see them. She looked at. I was like, oh shit, we're doing this again. Damn it.
I think the thing is.
How can people get hold of you?
So, gosh, it feels like
I'm sorry, I just thought of it now. Oh, this is stressing me out now.
Darling, I've got a Twitter handle, but I've got a Tinder handle, but my wife might not like that.
I'm gonna give you a couple.
That was quite funny. Sorry, I did not know how to respond to that. I'm gonna crush it, buddy.
Crush it. Crush it.
Okay.
All right. So, thank you for your time today. Really appreciated what you had to share.
No. Oh. Thanks for the download compliment.
So, what's your favourite Xbox game? Sorry. I want to say Xbox question, man. What's your favourite Xbox question? Boo, boo, boo. Okay, yeah.